Hi, everybody. This is Miss Holt.
And Miss Ginn.
And we're here to talk about and share with you the PowerPoint that we would had we had an open house in the gym. We usually called it it's kind of like a third grade, welcome to third grade open house presentation. And all four of us third grade teachers worked together. But due to COVID, we can't do that this year. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And this will be on the Eastside website. You can always go back and review as needed. So as I said, welcome to third grade. And I am Miss Holt, and that's Miss Ginn. So things to remember throughout the year. Responsibility is the key to success in third grade. It's your child's responsibility to do their work. It's your child's responsibility to bring things back and forth to school. We won't let them blame you for things that aren't done. They like to do that, and we won't let them do that for you. So between the two of us, between parents and teachers, we're going to get them to be real responsible. This year is the year your child will start to learn what it takes to be a good student. And it takes a lot to be a good student. And this is the year perseverance will be important. And mistakes will happen. The most powerful learning comes from making mistakes. So it's okay to make a mistake. We're going to learn from it. The green take-home folder has a tech folder inside. It's a manila folder that has passwords and usernames glued in. So it's going to be important not to lose that, and important that that comes back and forth each day. There will be important notes. It'll be important to clean them out daily. So do not keep items in the keep at home side of the folder. The folder will rip and tear, and it won't last very long. And don't throw away things on the return to school side of the folder. We'll tell your children which ones go on the keep at home. And if it's on the keep at home side, it's because we told them to put them there, and it can stay at home. A newsletter will be sent home via Remind each Monday. If we are ambitious and we get things done early, we might send it on a Friday afternoon. It's going to contain information about what's coming up that following week. And we'll have things with events and these skills, any tests that will be taken. So make sure that you look it over every week. The difference between second grade and third grade is we no longer have colors, we have a planner. So we're going to explain how it works, about the conduct marks, about homework and communication. So this is a conduct page. It's in the front of the planner. And as you can see, we no longer have green, yellow, orange, and red. We have these columns, one column for each day. There is a place for the week number. We will do that at school. The date for the beginning of the week, and your child will write his or her first and last name. We need you as parents to sign this at the end of each week. Or if you prefer, some parents like to look at it daily, which I like, and initial each one just so that we know that you have seen their conduct sheet. The way this works is on a Monday, this is the first warning. Now, the first warning probably isn't the first warning. It's after 2 or 3 verbal warnings and reminders. So the M stands for morning, the L stands for lunch, and the A is afternoon. So it tells you what time of day something happened. And what we will do is we will circle one of those and then just write a few words to explain what happened. The second warning means that they're on yellow, and that means they do not earn their POPS check for the day. The third one means they're on orange, and that is recess detention. And anything beyond that, you will get a contact from Ms. Ginn or myself via a phone call, a note home, or an email. There's a place for teacher comments. We may write some things down there that pertain to what happened up here if we need more room. There is a place for parent or guardian comments. We do not look at these each and every day. So if you write a comment to us, please tell your child to show it to us so we can see it in a timely manner. If we don't respond to that, it's not because we're ignoring you, it's because we haven't seen it. And then down here at the very bottom, it talks about conference requests. We won't use that. If we need a conference, we'll send an email or send a note. And we would prefer that if you are requesting a conference, that you send us an email. Send us an email with that you want a conference, and please tell us the reason for your conference, and we'll get that scheduled. For now, they would have to be either a phone conference or Zoom. This next page in the planner shows behavior codes. Ms. Ginn and I don't use these, but another teacher, if they happen to mark your child's planner, they may use that, and you can refer to this. If you see a number and a letter, you refer to this page and you'll know what the infraction was and where it happened. This is the homework page, and on this page, it will be your child's responsibility to copy the homework into their planner. Homework is also posted on the teacher website after 3 p.m. each day, but the most up-to-date information will be what's in the planner. Things change as the week goes on, and so it might not get changed in Power School. That's where the homework is posted from, Power School. So make sure that you check the planner. The difference between homework and digital work. Digital work is the work completed at home on the days your child is not at school. Homework is the work to be completed at home after spending the day at school. Most likely, it will be a math assignment to complete at home following that day's lesson. Ms. Ginn has homework every day, which is reading for 20 minutes. Your child will copy that homework into their planner each day. If you're on a digital day or a virtual day, the homework is included within that lesson. So every child will have homework. It just might get done during your virtual digital time at home, or it might have to be done at home after school. Now, for my Google Classroom, any math assignments will have to be due that same day. 11:50 p.m. at night each night is what it shows in Google Classroom. That's because they need to be prepared for the next day's math lesson. It is important to complete each math lesson in a timely manner as skills build upon each other. I'll go back to this. I use checking homework in class as a way to review getting ready for the next lesson. So that it would be real important to have that done. We can go over, they can ask questions if they have any questions about anything that they may have gotten wrong before we start the next lesson. This is from the LPSB website. It shows expectations for students and parents. As you can see, something important to note, students may fail in the virtual environment if they fail to participate in complete work. That's going to be super important. It's going to be important that tasks are completed in a timely fashion, and we need to communicate together. So ask for help when needed. We'll do our best to help you. If we don't, we may find something that is on the district website that you might be able to, a video or something that you can watch to help you. Something important to note on the parent expectations, parent will support teacher instruction. We are going to work together. We are going to you're not the teacher. You're not the teacher. We're the teachers, and we're going to prepare lessons and things to do the instructing. It's okay to help. You don't want to help too much because when they're at school, they don't get that kind of help at school. So don't let your kids play you, because they will. We know. When it comes to homework and when it comes to classwork, they'll want to ask you question after question. My suggestion is to get them started, help them with the technology-wise, so maybe finding it, and then tell them, when you're done, I'll look it over. So it's okay to check over their work. And if you find a mistake, show them, hey, there's a mistake here. See if you can find your mistake. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that all sounds good.
Okay. Orange folder is the graded paper folder. It comes home each Tuesday. Review papers from the past week, which there may not be very many because quite a few of our assessments will be online assessments, and your child can log into that platform that we used for that assessment, and you can see the grade and you can see the work that they did. It'll be indicated in Power School if it was a Socrative assessment, an Edulastic assessment, a ReadWorks assessment. So you can tell your child, hey, I need you to log into your account so I can see what you did. And then just please send those empty folders back to school on Wednesday. This is the information that we've sent several times in emails, but make sure that if you haven't done so, that you sign up for Remind. It will be one of the main ways that we communicate. It's really quick and easy and really fast for Ms. Ginn and I. And I think you probably appreciate it because it comes right to your phone and it's hard to miss. So, math. Math consists of multiplication and division and relating those to each other. And that's where we begin. So, when we get done with our iReady diagnostics testing, we get started right with multiplication. Then we move into operations in base 10. There'll be graphing, geometry, area, perimeter, fractions, measurement. Now, students are expected to use the hooked on writing framework in all math when writing explanations. You can expect small quizzes, skill checks, and classwork to be graded throughout each unit, as well as a big unit test at the end of the unit. And we'll let you know ahead of time when those tests are and send home any study packets or study guides or post things online to help.
Hollis, please come to the office.
What can you expect in math? The goal is to understand concepts before teaching shortcuts. Shortcuts will come later. Some may not come until fourth or fifth grade, and that's okay. So, my helpful hint is don't try to show them a shortcut at home. It won't make sense to them and it will only confuse them. And I have a good example of a parent. Their child understood what we were doing in school, and she said, "Hey, let me show you a shortcut." And she showed them the shortcut, and then they were thoroughly confused. And then mom emailed me and said, "Help, can you fix it?" So please don't show them any shortcuts. What we're doing is we're building a conceptual understanding of how the shortcuts, why the shortcuts work. So we're going to build the concept and then learn the shortcuts later. And this is super important. Math, fact, fluency, and mastery. This is the expectation in the curriculum. Students coming into third grade are expected to have their addition, subtraction, facts mastered. So we expect that today, coming from second grade, that they are proficient at addition and subtraction facts. That means they can give an accurate answer within 3 seconds of seeing the problem. So 3 plus 8, within 3 seconds, they can give the answer. The fact is automatic. There's no finger counting, no head counting. Now it says here we start multiplication sometime in October. That's not correct. Excuse me. We start multiplication, it's the first thing. Now there are going to be timed graded fact quizzes. Students are expected to master their multiplication facts before they go to fourth grade. The earlier they learn them, the easier it will be. No calculators. Multiplication and division are going to be important to know when we get to area, when we get to fractions. So learning them early will be really important. Social studies, Miss Ginn and I will both be teaching social studies this year. I will teach to my homeroom and she will teach to her homeroom. It's taught all year. The focus is on Louisiana. There are tasks that incorporate all writing skills as well as the student content knowledge are incorporated into the grade as well. And again, just like in math, students are expected to use hooked on writing framework in all social studies written tasks. Again, science is taught all year. We've used the Louisiana Science Standards. Tasks will incorporate all writing skills, and they're expected to use hooked on writing in all social studies tasks. You can see the units that we have in science. We'll start with forces, interactions, and variations of traits. ELA, that's yours, Miss Ginn.
All right, English language arts. That includes reading English, which is your grammar, writing, and vocabulary. And then, of course, we do accelerated reader, but C students will not be allowed to do accelerated reader because they don't have access to AR at home. For reading, we'll be using mostly Ready Reading with other things supplementing that. But our Ready Reading is our biggest resource. And so far, our workbooks have not come in. So when those do come in, you'll be seeing those new workbooks come home. And my C people, I'll somehow figure out a way to get those to you guys. You may have to buzz through Carpool Line one day and pick up those new workbooks once they get here. There'll be more on AR coming home soon. I'll send home or email or whatever I need to do for you so that you have AR requirements. Again, C students won't be doing AR. Reading, our grades are weighted in ELA. Reading is 60% of the ELA grade. Third grade is where we start reading to learn instead of learning to read. Again, we're using Ready Reading. We'll be doing close reading, but it'll have to be done a little bit differently this year with all of our digital work. It's not like we can always highlight on the screen, so we'll be trying some different tricks, and there'll be a lot on written responses coming. We've already started written responses with our ReadWorks, and you'll see that posted in Google Classroom. Text dependent questions, that means the answer to a question has to include details from the text. And I'll be working really hard with all the kids on that. And that's just a must. They can't just pull answers out of the air anymore. They have to use answers and details from whatever they are reading. Your student will have vocabulary. A lot of it will be academic vocabulary. So if we're learning comparing and contrasting, they need to know what it means to compare and contrast. That's what I mean by academic vocabulary. Students must be able to use that vocabulary in conversation and writing. We don't just memorize a definition and spit it out. They have to actually be able to use those words in context. We do not do weekly spelling anymore, and we'll be working with words in the rest of ELA. But as far as just spelling, yeah, we cut that out a few years ago. Writing is 40% of the ELA grade. Writing is across all subjects. Hooked on Writing is our main writing framework that we use for informational text, meaning nonfiction text. We will be doing our daily language review as part of our grammar review and sentence structure. And then again, Hooked on Writing, we'll be teaching that heavily. Reading and writing are connected. A lot of times the writing will be included in their reading grade. Sometimes writing will be included in just a writing grade, but most of the time it will be connected with that reading grade. There are 3 types of writing we do in 3rd grade: narrative, opinion, and informative, with informative being the biggest one. Extended responses are those longer responses, and we will be working on writing up to 4-paragraph compositions later in the year, no time soon. They must be able to use details from the text in their writing. All right, here's a little bit about Accelerated Reader, and I will give you more on that later in a written form. AR is a computer program that we have. The kids love it. I have seen so many kids learn to love reading and become passionate about reading through AR. And this week, when you see this video, the kids will be taking the STAR test, and that gives them their reading zone. And that's what we call it. We call it their zone. And they will read books within that zone. Okay, and those are the books that they can read and be successful. You don't want a book to be too easy or too hard, because they don't grow as readers either way. So we want the books to be just right books. Now, where can they get their books from? They can read books from my library. My classroom library is huge. I give the kids 20 minutes every day to read. They can read books from Miss Gotro's library. They can read books from the public library. You can read books from home. And also now you have Epic that you can use for a book resource. In Epic, it will filter the books to show them what's in their level. Now, where and when can students take AR tests? They can only take tests at school. And we have plenty of time in the classroom to take AR tests. They can take them when they go to the library. They can take them during computer lab time. If your child tells you they do not have time to take a test, they are telling you a fib. It is not true. They have tons of time to read independently and take AR tests. AR does count as 1 grade for all students except C students. My C group, I can't grade them on AR because they don't have access to it, obviously. but it will count as one grade each quarter. Now, there may be times that I assign a book that they have to read, and that will count as a separate reading grade, and we'll usually have another activity with it. And you will be receiving an AR note with all this information on it.
So, how to be successful? Well, the big thing is going to be effort, student effort, putting forth effort, trying and not giving up. Organization is a big thing, making sure that everything is organized, and we will help with that. We will tell them where things need to go. They just have to listen. Attendance is super, super duper important. You can't learn if you're not here or if you're not online doing your work. And that leads into completing Google Classroom assignments each day you're at home. At your at home learning day, it's really important to log in and check Google Classroom. Check every class that they're enrolled in to see if there's an assignment. Some may not have an assignment that day. Motivation is going to be key, listening and following directions, and of course, responsibility. Third graders are expected to take care of themselves. For example, take care of their green folder, their planner, their red bag, their supplies. Shoe tying is a big one. Please make sure your child can tie his or her own shoes, especially during this time with all these germs that we're concerned about. We cannot have other people tying their shoes for them. And then working together and being on the same team. That's how we're going to be successful. That's how we're going to work the best for your child, is when we work together. So here is some information. Our email contact: Miss Bowman is our instructional coach. Miss Creel is our assistant principal, and of course Mr. Foster is our principal. So you're welcome to email all of us, and any of us. We prefer that you email us first, and we definitely, if we can't answer the question, we always forward to the appropriate person. So thank you for watching our screencast of our open house, and we hope you all have a great day.
Bye bye.